Former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, joins me now. What did you think of the president's Oval Office address?
Well, I thought it was appropriate what he said. I thought it was right timing. I thought if you watched it, he caught himself because he almost said, "Make America great again." Did you see that? He said America, then he had to stop. You could tell it was teleprompter. And really, what he's doing there at the time, he's doing what's appropriate for a president now.
Right.
Calm the temperature down. But he's also solidifying his own race. Prior to this assassination, the whole quest was to get him out from running. And he had a couple more weeks to go before the August Democratic Convention. They wanted to take a run on him. Now that's put aside.
Right. So he's probably going to be the nominee, unless maybe they try some hijinks.
I don't think they can now.
I think it's cement.
Yes.
How does he run against Donald Trump now? He's got the mugshot. A bullet basically came within an inch of his brain. And he's got this fist in the air with the flag and blood over his face. And it just sends a chill every time I see that. How do you run against a guy like that?
I don't know, because that photo would be the most iconic photo for our entire generation. We know where we were at that moment in time, who called us, the picture, the flag behind it. But that isn't something that's staged. That's not a teleprompter. That's not written. That's a situation that happened. How did your commander-in-chief act during that moment in time? And you're going to question when you make this decision. Do you want somebody strong like that in the Oval Office? Somebody can stand up. How do you think the foreign leaders, like I've had calls today from foreign leaders in other countries asking me how President Trump is doing, that they're shocked too with democracy, what's happening. But when you look at everything that has gone on to go against President Trump and how he's standing, and where is he standing for? It wasn't about him, bloody. He was there for the people. He is standing up for them, going against even when someone's shooting him. And it's less than an inch. Yeah. How close that came to losing his whole life. I talked to him today, and it's amazing. I mean, he would tell me about hearing the bullet, the speed of it. And I could tell when he's telling it, whoever that happens to, it affects you. But his strength of what it was about and hitting the ear, then he goes in and telling about how the doctor tells him there's a lot of blood within your ear. And then he's told Trump, Kevin, you'll understand, because you have really big ears too. You know?
You do have big ears. Good for listening, because there's a lot of creepy people in D.C. How does the president, the former president, Donald Trump, run now? We're hearing he's going to be running a more positive, unifying campaign. What's that going to look like?
Well, I think that's great. I think it's bringing more people in. I think there's a moment in time here where they have seen such a contrast between governing under President Trump and governing under Biden, that this is a moment in time for the party to open up to people who have never thought about voting Republican or not. It's almost a Reagan era where you talked about the Reagan Democrats. This is going to be a moment in time where Trump is bringing people who've never thought about being a Republican, more people in the Hispanic community, Black community, and others that are going to say, the leadership, in a time when you were down, who would you stand up for? Everything thrown against you. You're the fighter for America. And also how well he's run his campaign. He's been quiet at the right time. He's put the issues out there. You want your border secure. You want an economy, affordability that you could live through. This is the choice.
Well, the next debate's going to be wild. That's going to be a wild debate after surviving a gunshot and then getting back up on that debate stage and facing off against
He's already
Biden.
Here in town.
It's unbelievable. And I heard they're wearing MAGA hats in San Francisco. That's how big this is.
Without being attacked.
Right. Without being attacked. Kevin McCarthy, big ears and all. Thank you so much. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.